Back in the year 1908, a truly enigmatic and thought-provoking book known as the Kybalion emerged into the world of literature, captivating the minds of those drawn to the mysteries of existence. This intriguing publication, cloaked in an air of secrecy, was brought into being by three shadowy figures who chose to remain anonymous, identifying themselves only as the three initiates. These elusive authors took upon themselves the monumental task of gathering and synthesizing the profound teachings of an ancient sage named Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure believed to have lived in the distant, misty eras of pre-dynastic Egypt. This master of wisdom is often linked in historical lore to the Egyptian deity Thoth, the god of knowledge, writing, and magic, whose influence permeates the esoteric traditions of antiquity. The Kybalion, as a work, was deliberately crafted with a purpose steeped in mystery and veiled in the allure of arcane insight, to distill the vast, sprawling body of ancestral knowledge passed down through the ages from long-forgotten civilizations into a concise yet powerful framework of 7 Hermetic principles. These principles were designed to be both understandable and practically applicable, serving as a guiding light for individuals yearning to unravel the hidden laws that govern the universe and to wield these laws intentionally to shape the 3 fundamental planes of existence: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Throughout the annals of human history, these sacred teachings have been fiercely protected, held close by secretive groups, societies, and lodges that regarded them as treasures too precious to be exposed to the uninitiated. Such organizations maintained an ironclad veil of secrecy around this wisdom, ensuring that it remained accessible only to those deemed worthy. The act of simply picking up and reading the ancient texts that contain these teachings, many of which form the foundation of the Kybalion, does not guarantee that their deeper truths will be revealed. This is largely because, during various periods of history, those who practiced and preserved these doctrines faced relentless persecution, forcing them to cloak their knowledge in layers of symbolic imagery and cryptic, coded language. A striking and unmistakable example of this can be observed in the majority of alchemical and hermetic writings, where the surface meaning often conceals a far richer, more profound significance. As a result, only a small handful of individuals possess the insight and dedication required to fully grasp the essence of these texts, and an even smaller number take the critical step of translating that understanding into action. Knowledge, when left dormant, neither utilized nor expressed, loses its potency and becomes a hollow shell, incapable of conferring any meaningful advantage or benefit to the one who holds it. Thus, it is not enough merely to study the axioms, aphorisms, and precepts laid out in these teachings. One must go further, weaving them into the fabric of everyday life. For each person, the journey involves internalizing these principles deeply, practicing them consistently, and applying them with intention, as they only truly become a personal possession, a living part of one's being when they are actively put into practice. The Hermetic principles outlined in the Kybalion number 7 in total, and they are intricately interwoven, each one supporting and enhancing the others in a harmonious tapestry of universal truth. The cornerstone of this system is the first principle, known as mentalism, which serves as the bedrock upon which all the other principles rest and from which they draw their meaning. Mentalism asserts a radical and transformative idea, that the universe itself is a vast mental creation, sustained entirely within the infinite mind of the All, an all-encompassing, omnipresent consciousness. If we accept this foundational premise, it follows logically that every aspect of creation, from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy, originates in the realm of thought. Building upon this, the Kybalion introduces another key principle, the principle of correspondence, which reveals a profound parallel between the creative power of the All and our own potential as conscious beings. Just as the All brings forth reality through the power of its mind, so too can we, as individual expressions of that same universal mind, create with our own thoughts. This principle of correspondence teaches that there exists an eternal and unbreakable relationship between the laws and phenomena operating across the different planes of existence, encapsulated in the timeless maxim, "As above, so below, as below, so above." This statement underscores the idea that a deep harmony unites the physical plane of tangible matter, the mental plane of thought and emotion, and the spiritual plane of higher consciousness. Yet, within this harmony, there is also a hierarchy, a natural order in which the subtle and ethereal gives birth to the dense and material, and the spirit acts as the architect, shaping and ordering the world of matter. This concept of interconnectedness and hierarchy resonates powerfully with yet another of the 7 principles, the principle of vibration. According to this principle, everything in existence, every atom, every thought, every emotion, is in a state of constant motion, ceaselessly vibrating. Nothing in the universe is truly still, all is dynamic, alive with energy. This principle provides a framework for understanding the vast spectrum of manifestations we encounter. Whether in the form of physical matter, forces of nature, states of mind, or even the subtle essence of spirit, all of which arise from differing rates of vibration. At one extreme, the vibration of spirit is so rapid and intense that it appears almost motionless, akin to a wheel spinning at such tremendous speed that it seems to stand still to the naked eye. At the opposite end of the spectrum lie the densest forms of matter, their vibrations so slow and faint that they too seem static, locked in a state of apparent rest. Once again, the refrain of "as above, so below" echoes through this principle, affirming its universal scope. From the boundless essence of the All, whose vibration is unimaginably vast, all creation flows forth, manifesting at varying frequencies. It is the lower, slower vibrations that congeal into the physical matter we perceive with our senses, while the higher, faster vibrations remain subtle and intangible. This understanding reinforces the notion that existence itself is fundamentally mental and spiritual in nature, a product of unseen vibratory forces. By grasping these fundamental axioms, we come to see that the material world around us, the sights, sounds, and textures of our daily lives, is merely a reflection, a shadow cast by the interplay of mental and spiritual vibrations. To alter the circumstances of our lives, to reshape the physical reality we inhabit, we must first transform the quality of our thoughts, refine the workings of our minds, and adjust the vibratory frequency at which we operate. At this juncture, another of the 7 Hermetic principles emerges as a vital tool, the principle of polarity. This principle reveals that we possess the ability to shift our mental vibrations through a deliberate act of will, focusing our attention on the state we wish to embody. The power of the will serves as a rudder, steering our focus and, in turn, altering the vibration we emit. When confronted with an undesirable mental state, be it fear, anger, or despair, the principle of polarity offers a practical solution. Rather than attempting to banish the unwanted state directly, we can focus our attention on its opposite pole, thereby initiating a shift. This method stands out as one of the most effective and actionable formulas within the Hermetic tradition. Polarity operates along a sliding scale of vibratory degrees, stretching from positive to negative, with the positive pole representing a higher, more refined state than the negative. Every mental condition has its counterpart, its mirror image, and these opposites are merely 2 ends of the same spectrum. Through the process of mental transmutation, we can reverse this polarity, flipping the switch from one state to its opposite. Take fear, for instance. Trying to suppress or erase it outright is a fruitless endeavor, akin to pushing against an immovable wall. Instead, the wise practitioner cultivates courage, nurturing its presence until the fear naturally dissolves, overtaken by the rising tide of its positive counterpart. Another example illustrates this beautifully. If you seek to overcome ignorance, you cannot simply wipe it away, as one might erase a scribble from a chalkboard. Rather, ignorance fades gradually as you pursue and embrace knowledge, much like darkness recedes from a room when a lamp is lit. To banish any negative quality, the key lies in concentrating on its positive pole, allowing the vibrations to shift organically from the lower to the higher state. The human mind, much like metals or elements in the alchemist's laboratory, is capable of transmutation, shifting from one degree to another, from one condition to another, from pole to pole, and from one vibratory frequency to the next. To master the principle of polarity is to master the art of mental transmutation, a process often likened to the ancient practice of alchemy. This mastery is not a mere intellectual exercise. It is an essential skill for anyone seeking to transform not only their inner world, but also the outer reality that surrounds them. Yet, the journey through the Hermetic principles does not end here, for we must also reckon with another vital tenet, the principle of rhythm. This principle is deeply entwined with polarity, revealing the inherent ebb and flow that governs all things. Where there is action, a reaction inevitably follows. Where there is progress, a retreat looms on the horizon. Where there is a rise, a fall waits in the wings. This rhythmic law applies universally to the cycles of suns and planets, to the lives of animals and humans, to the flux of energy and matter. It is evident in the birth and dissolution of entire worlds, in the ascent and decline of civilizations, in the dance of life and death, and most intimately, in the shifting tides of our own mental states. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, perpetually seeks balance, swinging like a pendulum between opposing forces. However, this does not mean we are doomed to be trapped in negative states when the pendulum swings against us. By understanding the rhythm and equilibrium of the cosmos, we gain a broader perspective, a quiet acceptance that allows us to weather the inevitable downturns. More importantly, as practitioners of the Hermetic arts, we possess the tools to nudge the balance back toward the positive, refusing to be mere passengers on this cosmic ride. One of the core Hermetic axioms declares that the higher planes of existence hold dominion over the lower ones, just as higher laws supersede those beneath them. The principle of rhythm, with its relentless oscillations, can be neutralized through the skillful application of polarization. Consciousness exists simultaneously on multiple planes, higher and lower, and by intentionally elevating our awareness to the higher plane, we can allow the pendulum's swing to play out on the lower level without disturbing our inner peace. This is achieved by anchoring ourselves in the higher self, raising the vibrations of our ego above the mundane plane of ordinary awareness. It is akin to standing atop a hill, watching a storm rage below without being touched by its fury. Those who have attained a degree of mastery consciously polarize themselves in the positive pole of their being, the I am, the truest essence of their identity, rather than remaining tethered to the fleeting, reactive ego. By rejecting the pull of rhythm's oscillations and asserting their authority over it, they transcend their ordinary plane of consciousness. Through the application of higher laws, they gain dominion over the lower ones, stepping into their power as co-creators of their reality. This practice is not reserved for the enlightened few. All individuals who have achieved even a modest level of personal mastery employ this approach, whether they fully comprehend the underlying law or not. They refuse to be swept away by the tides of emotional or circumstantial fluctuation, standing firm in their inherent superiority and maintaining a positive polarization. A true master, however, takes this further, attaining a level of perfection that seems almost miraculous to those still caught in the grip of life's ups and downs. Such a master understands the law they are working with, leveraging the power of a higher principle and their own disciplined will to achieve a state of balance and steadiness that defies ordinary comprehension. They recognize that everything on the lower planes is dual in nature, defined by opposites, and they use their minds to rise above these dualities, overcoming adversities with grace and clarity. They perceive that at its core, all of existence is Maya, an illusion, a mental projection of the all within which the divine consciousness experiences itself in an infinite array of forms and perspectives. They also understand a deeper truth. They are not merely creations of the all, but integral parts of it, divine in essence, fractals of the infinite source. As eternal spirits temporarily clothed in material form, they are here to evolve, to experience, and to awaken to their true nature. Through the principles of fractality and correspondence, they realize they hold the power to shape their own reality, to mold their circumstances with the creative force of their minds. This understanding lies at the heart of teachings passed down by countless masters and ancient traditions. Whether in the philosophies of Hinduism, the meditative practices of Buddhism, the esoteric doctrines of Hermeticism, or the words of Jesus of Nazareth, all point to the same fundamental truth. The universe is mental and spiritual in nature. If this is so, it becomes evident that mental transmutation, the ability to shift and refine our thoughts, holds the key to transforming the conditions and phenomena of our lives. The mind emerges as our greatest instrument, the ultimate power through which we can transmute our existence. Two Hermetic principles remain to be explored in this context: the principle of cause and effect, which finds a parallel in the Hindu concept of karma, and which I have delved into deeply in a separate video that complements this discussion. The link is available in the description and above. And the principle of generation, a concept often overlooked or misunderstood, yet potentially the linchpin for manifesting our desires and needs on the physical plane. Grasping and applying this final principle could complete the cycle of mental and material creation and transmutation, offering a holistic understanding of how to wield these ancient laws. If you'd like a detailed exploration of this last principle in a dedicated video, please let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. Thank you for staying with me through this journey to the end, and I look forward to connecting with you again in the next video.